The Institute for Democracy and Economic Affairs, or IDEAS, has criticised the government for not making clear how it plans to achieve the four-stage National Recovery Plan and its targets. In a statement today, IDEAS also argued that the three indicators used for the plan are insufficient and that Putrajaya should instead take inspiration from the Pandemic Severity Index system, which the think tank had previously proposed. It added that focus should be paid to the 7-day average of new cases instead of daily infection numbers, since the latter merely reflects the number of tests done per day. Other indicators it suggested are the positivity rate, which refers to percentage of positive tests out of total tests performed, the R0, and death rate. IDEA's Chief Executive Officer Tricia Yeo said Putrajaya's exit strategy ultimately requires more substance. Yeo said measuring the capacity of public health facilities is a good move, but the government did not disclose what moderate and sufficient mean. She also said she was more disappointed by the fact that the plan does not include any measures to boost economic recovery, and said that SOPs for each phase that are to be laid out by the government soon must be transparent and accurate. Otherwise, she warned, Malaysia will be stuck in lockdown mode for several years to come. The Public-Private Partnership Industrial COVID-19 Immunisation Programme, or PICAS, is expected to be able to control the spread of COVID-19 in the manufacturing sector and aid the implementation of the National Recovery Plan. According to Bernama, Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said, based on the Ministry of Health's report, the sector should be given attention as it is among those badly affected by transmission of the coronavirus in the workplace. He said this was because most employers were still found to have failed to abide by the Workers' Minimum Standards of Housing and Amenities Act 1990, Act 466. The country has seen over 1,300 workplace clusters involving more than 147,000 infections, over 95,000 of which were linked to factories. Overall, Malaysia has logged a cumulative 673,026 cases since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. There were 5,150 new infections today, led by Selangor with the most cases at 1,914, followed by Negeri Sembilan 607, Sarawak 570 and Kuala Lumpur 480. 7,240 individuals recovered, while 67,949 remain active cases. There were 73 new fatalities, bringing the death toll to 4,142. Proton Holdings sold 669 units to overseas distributors last month, making it the group's best export sales month since March 2013, a span of 98 months. Citing a statement from the national car maker, Bernama said, up to the end of May, the total year-to-date volume was at 174% of the target set, and only 6% behind what was achieved for the whole of 2020. It said the car maker's export sales growth was powered by growing demand in several key markets, some new and some where protons have been sold for decades. For example, Pakistan is a new market for the company. For the first 5 months of 2021, it was by far the best performer. Egypt was Proton's second largest export market, and Brunei, which started selling Proton vehicles in 1987, was the third biggest export market by volume this year. International Sales Director Stephen Shu reportedly said, at the beginning of the year, Proton's plan for 2021 was to aggressively grow its export sales volume. He was quoted as saying that after 5 months, the car maker is close to doubling the volume target set, which hopefully is a sign of more success in 2021. Property-to-medical group Sunway is reportedly planning to apply for a digital banking license to be issued by Bank Negara Malaysia. Quoting the company's spokesman, Bloomberg reported, Sunway is aiming to build a fintech ecosystem to promote financial inclusion for Malaysians as well as micro, small and medium enterprises. It said Sunway will bid for the permit along with its consortium partners, whom it did not name. Sunway owns and manages Sunway Money, an online licensed remittance service that provides seamless cross-border money transfer at low processing fees. It also owns a 51% stake in credit reporting agency Credit Bureau Malaysia via its unit Sunway Holdings. The central bank will issue up to 5 digital banking licenses next year, and the license holders are expected to change the operating landscape of the banking industry moving forward. Companies have until the end of this month to apply. Oil giant Petronas and Indonesian counterpart Pertamina are said to be on a watch list for removal from JP Morgan's ESG EMBI index at the end of this month. According to a Reuters report, the bank said in a statement this was because their scores fell below a required threshold and they are no longer eligible for inclusion. The report said the bank uses outside firms to assess the ESG score required for inclusion in the index. One of them is Sustainalytics, which according to the bank's statement said some of Petronas's or its affiliates' activities in high-risk regions may be viewed as a violation of a United Nations arms embargo. It said the decline in score is also related to ongoing exposure to multiple incidents related to human rights and the ongoing political situation in Myanmar. Meanwhile, Pertamina's score decline was said to be partly due to a refinery fire in West Java that forced the evacuation of close to 1,000 people, as well as discussions with the government regarding a settlement over historical oil spills where cleanup is ongoing. According to Reuters, Petronas currently has a 121 basis points weight in the ESG EMBI index, while Pertamina's stands at 49 basis points.